Hi there, good evening. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Georgia.
My name is Chelsea.
And yes, we are the poetry group that make up Che. Rise Collective is a collective that supports and amplifies the voices of young people. We first met Mal, I think, about 2 or 3 years ago at an event. And yeah, the collective has just gone from strength to strength.
Yeah, we're always trying to amplify the young people's voices, give them opportunities to perform or to create wherever we can using film and using music. So this opportunity was perfect for that because the film is geared towards that, isn't it? It's all about the youth and helping the youth, etc. So yeah,
and giving them a voice and letting them express exactly how they feel and how they think the world should be. And that ties in excellently with, we use it as inspiration for the poem. You'll see all the images and the things that these kids do are amazing. The organization and the activism that they have is just unparalleled. So without further ado, let's get the night going. Sam, are you ready?
Please welcome Sam.
We're both kind of... Hi, I'm Sam Siva. I'm sometimes a poet, sometimes other things. So I wrote a poem responding to this documentary, which I'm really excited for you all to see. And it's an acrostic poem. I don't know if you guys have written those in school, like primary school. You could say yeah, maybe not. So acrostic poems, it's each line or a section in this case spells out a word or a phrase, and mine spells out fuck the police. And I had a friend earlier today who had an annoying experience with the police, so I feel like, yeah, this is for you too. So anyway, here it goes. For all the bodies battered by batons, bruised in backs of buggies, mainlined for one hell or another, under blue, grey, overcast, sun, dappled clouds, under closed-circuit television, under Google's glare, under cover, under the stolen identity of a deceased child, under velvet curtain of supposed choice, of democracy, under capitalism, under the history of genocide, femicide, homicide, under patriarchal state, under a racist state, under a homophobic state, under transphobic state, cut our throats, cuff our wrists, shackle our ankles, gag us, threaten us with kindness, and if not, then veiled violence. Lift the veil, hands rest on holsters, hands rest on automatic guns, hands rest on lethal and non-lethal artillery. Fingers slip, close your ears, follow orders, ignore the abuse in your changing rooms. Tom is still a nigger, Becky is still a bitch, and those kids you fucked up, they're all faggots, whores and thugs. Kill the poor, the houseless, the vulnerable, the ill, the darkies, the packies, the immigrants. Kill the sluts, the junkies, the criminal, the ones whose screams no one hears. Terrify teenagers as you violate their bodies, their privacy. They walk and therefore are a threat. Hate all those who do not love and support you. Harbor all your prejudices and believe in your purity above all else. Execute your orders, do your job, fill the quota. Perhaps there are some of you who are good. You tell yourself this. You say, some of us are good apples. You want to help people, help them feel safe, fight bad guys, but you've become another statistic in a rotten barrel. A few more boxes ticked. You're a number in a uniform. You follow orders you do not question, and you try to distinguish black and white out of shades of grey. On the streets you stare into desperate eyes you turn off. You follow orders. On the streets you have no thoughts of your own. You do as you're told. You follow orders. On the streets you disappear behind a uniform. You follow orders. Lips bloody, bloody lips. You had bloody lips that time when they fought back. They threw Molotovs and missiles of broken brick and bottles and cans. They threw punches. You were scared for the first time of this scrawny lot. Their bodies bare, yet cloaked in joyous rage. Yours armored, only materially. If you listen to them, they scream, you protect the Nazis. Your stomach contracts. You break face. We do not, you scream back. You don't even know who you've barricaded from this raucous mob. Punks dressed in all black. They push against you in the rain. You push back. You follow orders. Crowd control. You call it crowd control. We call it kettles. We call it kidnapping. We call it violence. As you grab us, you walk around with the ability to kill, to harm, and we are scared. We call it cruelty. We call it coercion. We call it by its name. Every time you scream it, every time we write it, every time we build up our communities so that we don't need you. Yes, we have lost trust in ourselves. We have been uprooted, miseducated, taught to fear, taught nothing at all, dependent. We rely on institutions born from our own destruction. And so every time we rebuild, re-educate, strengthen ourselves, we do not need you. We do not need you. And so we shout, and so we write, ACAB, all cops are bastards. FTP, fuck the police. Thank you. So I'm going to introduce Che, who will be performing next. I'm really excited to hear their views. Thanks.
This poem is called Piece by Piece. I was taught that talking back is a sign of disobedience and mistrust. Listen to authority as they lead you through the dust, but progress is built on breaking the rules, and we're better to learn that than school. Warming themselves on the atmosphere of the day, all the problems flood in like clockwork. A herd of children who heard the news this morning. A plague of politicians trying to hurt us again. On all their houses, the landlord comes calling, choosing between food or boarding, ignoring that change ain't enough for the train. Existence is stressed, trying to manifest the best, but you have less. Desperate to be separate, walking through red lights and over the yellow line on the platform floor, exercising the rights you apparently don't have anymore. Time to go and restore our law and order, sick of these beats. The map of life is rooted in your feet, so hear what? We're taken to the streets. Lead with no leaders. Proceed with none either. These kids are straight, no chase. In the adversity they face, they get shit done. Is there any reason to run? Crunch down on this old town before it takes our lives for fun. Documented as another figure on paper, so they unstick the statistics. Use sharp scissors to cut out the haters. Rock the foundations precariously built to tame us. Write them in history papers and refer to them in the past tense. These Brazilian teens got organized with something in common sense, and here's the difference. The rulers they used in their occupied classrooms actually kept things straight. They'd become famous, but not for fame, but go down in history as 14, 15, 16-year-olds who remained. There are some who prefer to play out the past and sit in their comfort seat, waiting for order to arrive at their door. But a microsociety has formed in the hall and already has a class worthy of the cause. Left to their own devices, they organize their own laws, dissolves in a morning of anarchy, and freedom spread round the room like an influenza. Airborne, deep breath, chest tight with the confidence of security. Build up the barricades, no difference between the road and the pavement. Police fake aid, lied to their face with instructions from the higher place. Rampaged by the uniformed slaves whilst corners of your earth are being chipped away. It beats like the rain. What does the pain? It beats like the rain. What does the pain? The fury drove them out and driven by a shadow of doubt. A belief in some kind of peace, aiming for peace by peace, worked its way in, integrated part of the system, stopped traffic to the everyday. Acting out and running fast, choking on tear gas, and seeing past the crowds of people who wonder and lurk. Hey kids, I agree with you, but let me go to work. You're now a delinquent, though they forget you're only juvenile. Reduce school lunches to a bomb and then set them off in a pile. If you are participating in direct action, you must get your fraction. Cease and persist to break the system with cracks in. It's your turn, show of hand, who wants in? I'm going to this area where the enemy is there. Their words don't care and their actions are scarier. The girl with the purple hair would dare to look at you in the eye, so go on, stare at her. Stand up for freedom through it all. Push back hard against the weight of the wall. You can't make change with theories. We need action and execution. You don't want to be part of the problem, be part of the solution. You, the youth, are the revolution. Thank you.